Apple had a special event today and oh boy, it was something special. Apple introduced their newest M1 processor and MacBook Pros with those Pro chips. Apple also announced the HomePod Mini in new colors and the new AirPods 3rd generation. But the M1 chips are the highlights for me. I think Apple has truly made something remarkable here. I can't wait to talk about it. So let's get started. Apple started developing their own custom chips and started transitioning away from Intel chips. Last year, they released the M1 chips in their low-end Mac, like Mac Mini, MacBook Air, iMac, and 13-inch MacBook Pro. Those chips were a smash hit and took performance to a different level. They outperformed similarly priced laptops in the market in terms of performance, battery life, and even the price. In fact, the performance was on par with a $2,000 laptop. I even replaced mine with a Mac Mini and couldn't be happier. Now, Apple is taking the M1 chip to the next level. Apple introduced two new chips, the M1 Pro and the M1 Max. Looks like Apple took the naming cues from their iPhones. They are leaps and bounds more powerful than the M1 in multiple categories. First, let's talk about the M1 Pro chips. They can be configured with 8 or 10 core CPU and 14 or 16 core GPU. It has 8 high performance cores and 2 high efficiency cores. It comes with 16 or 32 gigs unified memory. For comparison, the M1 came with 8 core CPU, 8 core GPU, and 8 or 16 gigs of memory. Apple promises up to 70% more powerful and up to 2 times faster graphics than the M1. These are some big numbers. The memory bandwidth, which is how fast the data can be copied between the processor and the memory, has also been increased from 70 Gbps to 200 Gbps. M1 Pro also has twice the number of transistors as M1. All put together, you've got yourself a beast of a processor. It's not just that. The M1 Pro chips have dedicated cores for ProRes acceleration and video encode-decode. This means video editing and similar graphic-intensive tasks will be even faster. Next, let's talk about the M1 Max. This is like the M1 Pro on steroids. It has almost double the number of transistors as the M1 Pro and almost 4 times as the M1. Has even faster memory bandwidth of up to 400 Gbps. Can be configured with 10 core CPU and 24 or 32 cores of GPU. Also comes with 32 or 64 gigs of unified memory and even more dedicated cores for ProRes acceleration and video encode-decode engines. Apple claims that the M1 Max chip can deliver up to 4 times graphical performance as the M1. Even the M1 was crushing a dedicated graphic processor easily. Cannot imagine what the M1 Max chip can do. Other than the faster CPU, higher graphic cores, more memory, and dedicated cores, there are two main advantages of the M1 chip in general when compared to other processors in the market. First is how extremely power efficient they are, which means they are delivering amazing performance with very little power. This translates to a better thermal and sustained performance without throttling and better battery life. They are one of the most efficient design on a chip ever made. Second, this is a unified memory architecture. The memory is built into a chip, which means both CPU and GPU can make use of this memory. So if you are getting a 64 GB chip, you are also getting a 64 GB graphic memory. You'll never find a 64 GB dedicated graphic card out there. Another big reason why M1 chips have amazing graphic performance compared to even a dedicated graphic laptops. If the M1 Pro chip is a beast, the M1 Max is a monster. If Apple's claims are true, which Apple has a good track record with M1 Pro and M1 Max, I believe Apple has set the lead in processing power for years to come. Let's get to the new releases. Apple introduced 2 new chips today and they are putting those in 2 new MacBook Pros. The new 14-inch MacBook Pro and the new 16-inch MacBook Pro. Luckily, Apple is bringing more upgrades than just putting newer processors in these machines. There are some really nice upgrades in all categories. First, the design. Looks like Apple is bringing some older design language to the new MacBook Pros. The bottom is flatter with rounded corners and reminds me of 2008 MacBooks. Comes in 2 colors, space gray and silver. The dimensions are fairly similar, although a little heavier. The keyboard has a darker theme, which I have mixed thoughts about. Speaking of the keyboard, the touch bar is gone and is replaced by a dedicated function key row. The display is a big upgrade. It's slightly bigger at 16.2 inches and 14.2 inches. The resolution is also significantly higher. It's almost 4K. But the most noticeable change is the notch up top, like the iPhones for the cameras. There is no Face ID or speaker. Not sure why the notch has to be this big. Looks like Apple just wanted a uniform look with their iPhones. The app menu kind of blends well with the notch though. Apple is calling it as the Liquid Retina XDR display. The big reason is the use of mini LEDs for backlight backlighting. We have seen this in the iPads. They provide amazing brightness and contrast. Speaking of which, the MacBooks have a much brighter display at 1000 nits sustained. That's double from last model. It can reach 1600 nits peak brightness in brightly lit outdoors. The screen also features a 120Hz ProMotion technology, A+ on the screen. The MacBook Pro cameras have finally gotten the much needed upgrade. It's a 1080p camera with larger sensor and better low light capabilities. Apple calls it the best camera system on MacBook. That's not saying a lot, but it's much needed upgrade finally. Another major improvement to this year's MacBook Pros are the connectivity and port options. Unlike Apple, it has given what users were asking for. MagSafe charging is back and improved. There are 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports which can be used for charging as well. Then there is the SD card slot, a full-size HDMI slot, and a headphone jack. Finally, we can use a MacBook Pro without adapters or dongles. Really nice. Next, the performance. You get to pick the M1 Pro or the M1 Max chips for your 14 or 16-inch MacBook. For what we know, both are gonna have tremendous performances. The M1 Pro can be configured up to 32 gigs of memory, while the M1 Max can be configured up to 64. M1 Pro chips along with improved thermals and macOS optimizations will provide the power to run any application smoothly. In fact, Apple claims the M1 Max chip can run up to 30 streams of 4K ProRes videos and up to 7 streams of 8K ProRes videos simultaneously. That's insane power. Even the 28-core Mac Pro cannot do that. The SSDs are also faster than previous models and can now be configured up to 8 terabytes. Pro users are really gonna love the new chips and the MacBook Pros for their performance. There is no shortage in performance category this year. The audio and mics have also gotten an upgrade. Both the models feature a 6-speaker array with bigger tweeters and bass drivers. Apple says it will have 80% more bass. It also features spatial audio. MacBook speakers were already the best in category. This seems like we are getting another big bump in audio quality. The mics are also improved this year. With an upgraded screen and powerful processors, battery life will be an obvious concern, but Apple keeps up with the expectations. The 14-inch model has 17 hours of playback time, which is 7 hours more than the last model, and the 16-inch model has an impressive 21 hours of playback on a single charge, 10 hours more than the last model. It also has fast charging, giving 50% charge in just 30 minutes. Apple has surpassed my expectations this year with MacBook lineup in all categories. They gave us more power, better screen, better battery, better speakers, better camera, better ports. But it comes with a cost. The 14-inch model starts at $2,000 for a 8-core CPU, 14-core GPU configuration. The 16-inch model starts at $2,500 for a 10-core CPU, 16-core GPU. You can spec out the 14-inch model at a whopping $5,900 and 16-inch model at $6,100. If you want the latest and greatest MacBook Pro, you're gonna have to spend some serious cash. With this upgrade, there are no more Intel chip offering in an Apple MacBook laptop. Apple will soon upgrade the 27-inch iMac to the M1 Pro and Max models with an increased screen size and design like the iMac 24-inch, a fairly impressive lineup from the previous Intel versions. You might have seen in my previous video how I made my M1 Mac Mini setup recently. This upgrade has made me think if I should upgrade to the M1 Pro. We'll see. Apple also introduced the new AirPods 3rd generation with updated design and features, and introduced HomePod Mini in 3 new colors. Consider subscribing if you want to know more about those. A like to the video will be amazing too. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. This is Anjana. Bye bye.